Oh, Shannon, it's so lovely to meet you. So we're here celebrating Stranger Things in London today. So you have to tell us, how has life changed for you since the series launched a year ago last year?
Life has changed completely, which is amazing. I remember getting the show and having this incredible experience on set and kind of just throwing it up in the air and hoping like the world would like it. And the world loved it and wouldn't stop talking about it. And I've been busy ever since, which is incredible. I've dreamed about acting since I was a kid, so I feel very lucky.
Oh, that's fantastic. Well, Barb in particular, your character Barb, was loved by all of us, and especially on social media. Why was it quite flattering for you, and why do you think people related to her so much?
Yeah, it was absolutely very unexpected. I didn't really think people would remember my character very much, much less like riot at her death. But I think, I don't know, Barb is kind of like the patron saint of all the misfits. I think everybody at some point in their life has felt kind of like awkward or out of place, or at least been like a third wheel. And so I think they can relate to her. She's kind of the underdog, and people like to root for the underdog.
Yeah, but it's also really nice because, I mean, a lot of us have experienced that, and we always thought that we were the geek or the nerdy one and that nobody wanted to know us. But seeing the response that you got kind of made it feel like, yeah, oh, it's actually all right. It's okay to not be the most popular person. Or
no, it's kind of wonderful that even though she wasn't like this particularly popular kid in school, the whole world was sort of like, wait, you can't just like let her go and not talk about it. That's sweet.
Well, the show, I mean, was such a massive success. What do you think it was about the show that made everybody love it so much?
I mean, I definitely think that there's like a lot of nostalgia for the 80s. I mean, it was this time where innovation and technology were advancing so much, but we still didn't have social media or like smartphones. So I think there was kind of this sense of like hope, like things were going well, and in terms of like, I think people were sort of, sorry, I just totally blanked. Yeah, no, I think people really enjoy the 80s because back then you sort of had to talk to each other. There was sort of this sense of camaraderie. You didn't have a computer or a cell phone as a crutch. And then also, I think there's kind of something for everybody. So it's really interesting because I always assumed that maybe not everybody would like it because it is science fiction and it is kind of scary. And a lot of people don't really like those genres, but there's a lot of hope and romance and drama in there, so I think there's something for everybody.
And the kids are incredible.
So great. I know. They're so talented and also just really wonderful little human beings.
Yeah, they really are. Yeah. That's for sure. I got quite excited when I saw your name today. I thought, oh my God, Barb is going to be in season 2. And then I was so gutted to find out that you weren't. Yeah. But because Barb is so beloved, do you think at any point might there be like a flashback, or is there any possibility that your character might come back? No.
I have no idea. I mean, it is science fiction, so anything can happen. As of now, I don't think that she's making an appearance anytime soon, but I do know the Duffer Brothers, and they are quite mischievous, so who knows?
And would you be up for it?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
Without a doubt.
For sure.
So what has been your favorite fan theory so far?
There are a lot of very dedicated and detailed fans, like people who are like doing their research, trying to like figure out the science behind alternate universes, and I'm like, oh my gosh, you guys are hardcore. Yeah. I think one of my favorites is that like Barb would like come back as like sort of like a spawn of the Demogorgon and like wreak havoc on the town. I think that would have been really fun to like play.
Yeah. Hint, hint. Yeah, writers, get on it.
I'll be your new monster.
Yeah, definitely. Obviously, we're here today in Topshop and Topman to celebrate the collaboration between them and Stranger Things. Have you had a chance to have a little look around at the fashion, and what are you loving right now?
Yeah, I've looked around and it's amazing. I mean, for one thing, the way that they decorated this place is incredible. Like, it's like walking back on set, which is amazing. And then, yeah, the fashion is great. I love that they're kind of like taking notes from Stranger Things and from the 80s, because even though there were a lot of very cheesy things about 80s fashion. I think there were some really great things too. So it's kind of cool to see that stuff come back. And then this is Topshop, and I really love like velvet.
Yes.
And
so rich.
It's like luxurious.
And so Christmassy.
Yeah, so I'm excited about it. Yeah.
Gorgeous. At least you've got that to walk away with. You've touched briefly about how much work you've been getting because you're in another Netflix show called Riverdale.
Yeah.
And that's got like quite obsessive fans as well. So how has it been from going from Stranger Things to such a big show as well?
I mean, I feel very lucky. You know, I don't think... I mean, you're lucky if you get to be on a show with that kind of following once in your career. So to kind of hop to another one has been really amazing. But the fans for Riverdale are wonderful. The cast is wonderful. And it's kind of cool to like get to sort of hop around in time, even though like Riverdale is a modern day show. It does have a lot of like the original sort of 50s, 60s like feeling to it, which I really appreciate. So it's been cool. Yeah.
So we're going back to speak to Netflix now because obviously they've come across this incredible phenomenon called binge racing.
Yeah.
And that people, like fans, are getting through series in one day. In fact, I think there's fans upstairs right now watching the whole series too. Lucky ducks. Are you guilty of it yourself?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. And I think like, especially with all the great original content that Netflix is putting out, people are racing through it and they want to be the first to tweet about it, the first to talk about it. So definitely I've been like trying to catch up on what everybody else is talking about right now, sort of get in the know.
Yeah. And what have been some of your favorites, obviously apart from Stranger Things?
Yes, that's a given. Right now I'm watching Mindhunter, which is another Netflix show, and it's about the people who decided to start like a program within the FBI to like study serial killers and like figure out their patterns and how they relate to each other, and it's really fascinating. So
I'll definitely have to put that
Kinda
on my
creepy,
list.
but I like it.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. I'd be like scared because Stranger Things sort of creeped me out, but I was like, oh, I'm so scared to watch the next one, but I'm doing it.
You can do it.
And then finally, how do you prep for your binge racing marathon? As in snacks, as in the outfit. What are we talking?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Like sweatpants, big t-shirts, lots of like thermoses of like coffee and water around, making sure you have like a clear path to the bathroom and that you can like sprint if you have to. And then snacks, like I always have like a bag of popcorn on hand or just candy like strewn about. So
an old duvet?
What?
An old duvet or a blanket?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Something to cuddle with, a pillow if it's scary. Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, it's been so lovely talking to you today, Shannon. Really lovely to meet you, and I wish you huge success with everything.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Nice to meet you.
You too.